you choose assessment year 26/7 online, and if you need, if you have saved some data earlier, you get it under resume, which would be under the draft mode, or you want to start a new filing, you could start new. See what the just out of the topic. So the tax portal has just taking time to respond. So wherever you find it, you are able to file the returns, you file it on priority. So then you choose what is the type of form. If you're not sure which form to select, then you could choose this option under proceed, and there would be a Q&A asking what are the types of income, and it helps you to choose the right ITR form. Then let's get started. So always remember why we are choosing the return. It's because of the income is more than the basic exemption limit of rupees 3 lakhs. So here we choose the list of schedules we want to enter the data. So under income, say you have capital gain, we will choose capital gain. You choose schedule BDA. You have some special income or minor income to be clubbed, then you choose schedule SPI. You got married recently, you have got some gifts, or you have received gifts from your parents, from your relatives as per your tax law, then you could disclose it under schedule EI, schedule exempt income, schedule FSI, and schedule TR. So for schedule FSI and schedule TR to be open, you need to enter the status of your residential status and under your schedule. We'll again look at it. And if you are filing your returns under old regime, then you choose the appropriate schedule where you want to claim the deduction. The schedule FA comes under the other tab, and if your income is more than 1 crore, you need to disclose the values of all your values of not the values, all the cost of your assets and liabilities under schedule AL. Then we click on continue. So we could choose to skip the questions and directly go to the new regime. So under part A, general information, so you need to select that you are a resident. If you select this residential status, only then schedule FSI and schedule TR gets opened. Yeah. Then your salary income details. So one precaution you need to take care, irrespective of if you're filing your returns under your new regime, you need to ensure you're giving the basic salary, what is the amount separately, and other allowances separately, because if the NPS contribution by the employer, which is linked to a percentage of your basic salary, if you have entered incorrect basic salary, then the claim of deduction may vary. Just to ensure that you ensure your basic salary is entered correctly. How do you get the basic salary for the full year? You could look at your payslip, or I think if it's available in Annex to Form 16, you could take it from there. If you're filing your returns under your old regime, always ensure you're giving the details of HRA and other allowances correctly. Once you're done with that, then the salary income that's a precaution to take care, and you have a separate category for perquisites. So you could add the value of perquisites under salary as per section 17(2). So how do you get the value of perquisite? Again, when you look at your Form 16 and Annexure 12B, Form 16 is where you get the details of your perquisite. opposites. House property schedule only if you are having the sale of if you are having any rental income, you enter there. Then the capital gains. Capital gain is a critical one. So if you have sold any Indian equity shares or equity oriented mutual fund, then you could choose A12. This is here, and enter the details here. Or if you have sold non-equity oriented shares called maybe your debt mutual funds, or maybe your liquid funds, arbitrage funds, you would enter it under sale of other assets other than A1, A2, A3 or A4. So you enter the value of sale consideration, what is the cost, so again these details would come from once you calculate it from sell to cover and sale by employee, which you have done voluntarily, for the short term, you could consider the sale value and enter it. So when you are entering here, you need to club for the full year sale, full year cost, and you enter the data here. Or you enter the values here. Say if it's the long term 3. So where again you have an option to upload and import. You could download the template. You could dump in all the equity shares, mutual fund sale details, and upload the CSV here. And again, this is only for Indian shares and Indian equity shares and Indian mutual funds. For your again RSUs, if you have sold ESPPs, or if you have sold debt funds, arbitrage funds, liquid funds, basically this would qualify as a non-equity funds. And especially I think people would have invested in gold ETFs, silver ETFs. Those would be also classified under non-equity shares and non-equity mutual funds. So that if you have those set of transactions, you need to identify them particularly and report it. So if you are sold for sale of other assets for long term here, you report it here. What is the sale consideration? What is the cost of acquisition without indexation? And what is the capital gain? Always remember, there is no indexation benefit available for shares. It can be any share. There is no indexation. Indexation benefit is available only for house and land. So once you enter the capital gain details here, you could come back. Then you could choose Schedule FSI. So in Schedule FSI is where you can enter the country code, United States of America, what is the tax identification number. So tax identification number is basically if you have a tax identification number in US, like a PAN number in India, a tax identification number in US. Most of us may not be having it. So you need to enter the passport number. So if you look at here, it says you enter the passport number. Then under capital gains, then you could show what is the amount of capital gain, income from outside India if you have paid any taxes, and if you are claiming any benefit. And dividend and interest income, which is from your NVIDIA shares or from Charles Schwab account if they have paid any interest, then you could choose to enter the details here. Income from outside India, taxes paid, and what are the benefit which you are claiming. So this is under Schedule FSI. Then Schedule TR. So Schedule TR is where if you are claiming any benefit, then we enter this data. So Schedule TR comes into picture only if there are taxes being withheld in US and you want to take credit of the taxes which you have paid in US to avoid double taxation. Then we have Schedule FA. Schedule FA is where the A1, A2 and A3. So A1 is for depository, A2 is for custodial accounts. Here again you could choose to import through template or you could choose to enter it manually. You enter the details of Swap account manually here. Then if you choose to enter all your equity shares, each vesting details, then you could enter it here, date of vesting of interest for each of the vestings, you could enter it here. Yeah, I think this should be good. Then schedule asset liabilities, basically if your income is more than 1 crore is where you give the details of all your investments, immobile properties, cash balance, or any other deposits. So here again we mention the cost. You purchased a land 15 years back at 25 lakhs, today it's valuing at 80 lakhs. Do I show 25 lakhs or 80 lakhs? I'll be showing 25 lakhs because schedule AL is for the cost. Then tax deferred on ESOP. This is something for the Indian equity Indian startup companies. NVIDIA would not come under the Indian startup companies. So you could choose, you need to ignore this tax deferred on ESOP. So, and then once you enter all the details, you get the income details in Part B, total income. So what is the salary income, what is the house property, what is the capital gain, what is the total income, if there are any losses which you have carried forward into next year, if there are any losses from previous year, you have brought forwarded and you are setting it off. All those details are available here. Then Part B TTI is where it shows tax liability on total income. What is my taxable income? What is the tax amount which I am liable to pay? If there are any TDS being deducted, what is the TDS amount? And what is the refund or net payable amount? So you could always enter the details on the taxes paid here. So you could choose view tax paid here and enter the details of self-assessment taxes which you have paid. So once you enter all these details, you get the option to preview it. You could preview and you could submit the returns. So this is on the tax portal. So this now we would just wrap up. So if you have